All right, so we are live. Welcome, welcome. Hey, everyone. Good evening. I see y'all tuning in out there. So welcome to our second tip of the month live hangout of 2015. Right. My name is Dana Balicki, and I'm an engagement strategist with Move the Crowd. And I'm going to hand this over to our founder and CEO, Rha Goddess, in just a moment. But for those of you who are new, I just want to take a minute to explain who we are and what we're about. So Move the Crowd really provides entrepreneurial training for next generation movers and shakers like you. So whether you're an established professional or even just dreaming of your next big move, we're here to help you harness your values and your passion and your creativity to change the world and to get paid doing it. Right? So we do this with our totally customized 12-month True+Paid+Good Academy, of which I'm also an alumni. Our engaging live and virtual events, here we are, free tools, expert tips, and a really inspiring community of real people, even future friends and mentors. And we're different than, the B School or other trainings out there. And this is important because we're dedicated to creating transformative experiences that elevate the whole person and really celebrate the entrepreneurial spirit that lives within us all. So as you'll experience today, we do this by working from the inside out with both mindset and skill set to help you achieve your own flavor of success. And we're also a community of practice. Right? So the opportunities to practice exist in every interaction that we have with you and every member of our beloved community. And tonight is one of those opportunities. And where we'll really roll up our sleeves and dig in together in this work. And this happens every month. It's usually the first Thursday of every month we do a live hangout with Rha Goddess, which is really a time where we can dig in together around our theme of the month that is really a piece of our theme of the year, which is courage and currency. And this, throughout the time tonight, there'll be opportunities, obviously, for you to listen to what Rha Goddess is putting out there, and to really notice where there may be questions bubbling up for you, where you feel alignment, and when you do feel questions coming up, we would love for you. There's a prompt on your viewing screen where you can plug in your questions as they come up. We'll only use the first letter of your name, and so. This is your opportunity to really take in the theme and ask what's pertinent to you. And know that likely someone else watching has a similar question. So really, be bold and create the possibility of deep insight for you both and for all of us. So with that, I hand this over to our founder, CEO of Move the Crowd, entrepreneurial soul coach, Rha Goddess.
Thank you so much, Dana. And welcome, everybody. If you are on the East Coast like I am, I hope you are staying warm. And if you are on the West Coast like Dana, basking in the sunshine, please don't rub it in. And I just want to say, because she mentioned it, we love B School. And we love Marie. And, maybe one of these days we'll have Marie in the house. And the distinction for us is that we do engage in live entrepreneurial training and development in the context of the Academy, in that it is a live coaching program. And let's be real clear, in the context of virtual programs, Marie is at the top of the list. We love you, Marie. Had to say that. So let's get into where we're going tonight. So our tip for the month of February is wake up. And I just want to invite y'all to breathe on that one, because we really are going to be sitting on the edge in the conversation tonight. And I want to encourage you and invite you, in whatever is going on in the context of your business or what you're building or you're growing, whether you're at the place where you just have an idea or whether you're at the place where you're realizing tremendous revenue and you're looking to take it higher, that there is an edge for you in this conversation, every single one of us. And so the opportunity is to courageously sit in the edge of this conversation. My intention in our time together today is to walk you through a 7-step protocol for liberating and freeing up any place in your business where you may be feeling stuck or you may be suffering needlessly and invite you to move back into alignment in a way that is inspiring and empowering. You know, waking up can be a very traumatic experience, and you know, I promise I'm going to share my waking up story in a minute, but you know, it can be a very traumatic experience, but it also could be a very liberating and empowering experience, even in the toughness of it, right? The energy of it. And so wherever you may be in this conversation, I'm going to invite you to find the edge for yourself and to really lean in. The opportunity is to really transform and release any form of victimhood that may be operating unbeknownst to you or beknownst to you. Right? The opportunity to take full responsibility for your dreams and your aspirations, which is what being in business is all about, right? It's what the entrepreneurial soul and spirit is all about. It's the opportunity to move back into alignment in a way that is joyful and fun, and to really liberate yourself to get back on the court so you can play full out. So that's the opportunity of engaging tonight. So my wake-up story. So many years ago, before I had the privilege of founding and launching Move the Crowd, I was a conscious performing artist and have had the privilege to tour the world and work in various communities. And this was at a time many years ago where I was launching my debut theatrical piece. And during this time, I had been in this entrepreneurial training and development, and it was totally transforming my life and rocking my world, because all of a sudden resources and opportunities that had not been available to me began to become available. And particularly, there seemed to be a lot of energy around me and around this theatrical project. And, you know, I was traveling back and forth from Europe to the U.S. I was getting meetings with people had never gotten meetings with before. And it was just kind of like, I felt like people were ready to invest in me in a whole new way. And I was super, super excited about it. And I was like, okay, first theatrical project, let's go big. And so I brought in international collaborators, I brought in a co-producer, I brought in a really hot up-and-coming director, I brought in other kinds of collaborative creatives around music and lighting and set, and, you know, raised a lot of money and sold a lot of presenters on the vision, and we were locked and loaded and ready to go. And everybody could feel the excitement that this had the potential to be a really impactful work, and it was a work that was dedicated to the issues of mental health, which is something that is very, very near and dear to my heart. And so we get together, and you know, y'all, how it goes in the beginning. Everybody's smiling, and it's the honeymoon phase, and we're all in the excitement of the vision and what we can create. And little by little, the collaboration began to go awry. And people began to step on each other's toes because the roles weren't quite as clear as they needed to be, quite clearly defined as they needed to be, right? And tempers were flaring, and people were ultimately starting to operate on their own agendas. And I was not paying attention, right? I was too busy running around raising the money. I was too busy running around continuing to sell the vision. Was putting out fires, right? Firefighting, trying to keep a good face on the whole thing, and really not paying attention to what was happening in the heart of the art and not paying attention to what was happening in the heart of the business. And so ultimately, this goes on for about 8 months. You know, when I'm in rehearsals and the creative work, I'm being pulled into the aspects of the production, and I'm giving it to other people, delegating it to other people, handle it. When I'm in the business, I'm being pulled by creative deadlines and so on. And so, you know, again, this tug of war goes on for about 8 months. And then finally I arrive in Amsterdam, and I'm working on the world premiere, and I'm in the final sets of rehearsals. And I'm stepping onto the set, and I have no idea what I'm interacting with. There are all kinds of amazing gadgets, and the set is set up a particular way, and there are all these props and all these ideas flying around, and I'm lost, like lost. And there are people who are coming in and they're looking at the rehearsal, and they're either telling me, oh yeah, it looks really good, because I can't see how I look on stage. I don't know what the image is that I'm sort of portraying as I'm interacting with these different props or these different aspects of the set, right? What I knew was I had really brilliant, talented, amazing people involved, and so of course it had to work out, right? And so I had other people coming in, and if they weren't sort of saying, oh yeah, looks great, looks great, looks great, they started to ask me questions, which I came to understand was code for, I don't understand what's going on here. And then I would have people who would come in, and at the end of the rehearsal, they would make a comment about my costume and wouldn't say anything about the work, which I came to understand meant that they hated it and they didn't have the guts to hurt my feelings. Right? And so we mount the show, and I perform, and I take my bow, and I get my roses, and I go home. And about a week later, I get the videotape of the show. And I put it in, and I am mortified. I mean, mortified. My vision, my mission, what I had hoped to achieve with the work is about 6 feet underwater, and this thing really does look like Clash of the Titans. And I am booked in 3 months, right, from this date to premiere in one of the top U.S. Play festivals. And the festival producer is just waiting on the videotape so he can see what the final work looks like. And what I know is that if I submit this tape as my work and my vision and the piece that I want to bring to his stage, that this thing is going to die in his DVD player. And let me tell you, when you want to talk about a come to Jesus moment, I really want to paint it for you. So here I am at the end of 3 years of working my butt off. I'm 15 collaborators in, over $180,000 spent, and it is a disaster. Right? I'm not talking to my co-producer. My co-producer's not talking to my touring agent, and my touring agent is asking me what is going on with the show. And I had to make some really tough choices. And I had to ask myself, when I sat down and really told the truth, like, what had happened here, right? And when I got honest and when I got truthful, what I saw was that I had been totally shirking my responsibility to my vision. I had been running around, grinding it out, being distracted in ways that were not helpful. I was letting people's flattery get to my head as opposed to really interrogating into what kind of results they were going to produce. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody hear what I'm saying? And at the end of it all, I had to really sit down and I had to ask myself 3 questions in terms of what my options were in that moment. 1, was I going to sell out and tour a work that I did not believe in? 2, was I going to go back to my stakeholders and whine about circumstances beyond my control? You know, the whole what happened was. Or 3, was I going to put my big girl shoes on? Was I going to make the hard choice to scrap the work, start from scratch, and deliver on the vision that I had sold and committed to? And what I realized when I surveyed my options was that the latter was the only option that really gave me the opportunity to rise into my potential and to fulfill on the game that I set out to play. I share this because sometimes in life and in business, we have to make hard choices that may have a lot of repercussions. They may involve lots of people. They may involve situations or circumstances or collaborations. But often when we get to this point where the rubber is meeting the road and we can see the fact that the lesson that is coming is about to be very expensive, it inevitably means that we've been sleepwalking, right? We've been seeing what we want to see. We've been hearing what we want to hear. We've been avoiding what we did not want to deal with. We've been giving up our voice or our power in lieu of somebody else's agenda. We've been sitting down on our talents and our gifts, right? And we've been just kind of letting it all occur by default, right, versus by intention. And so in our conversation tonight, I'm curious about where you're being called and invited to wake up. right? If we look at what's happening in the world, there are so many opportunities, right? What's going on in our larger world, right? In our global community, there are so many opportunities where we are being invited to wake up. And I'm curious about your world and your business and what it is that you're seeing there about where you're being invited to wake up, where you're being invited to face the music, let's say, where you're being invited to stand up, right, and find your voice. You're being invited to reclaim your vision, where you're being invited to complete circumstances that are no longer working for you, collaborations, etc., where you're needing to set a boundary, right, to put your hand up or your foot down, right? These are all of the potential frontiers for where waking up can happen, or where you're like just playing straight up small, right? And you've been acting like you're playing big, but you really, when you really, really get to the heart of it, you know you're not operating at your highest potential. So I want to open up the lines, Dana, and begin our Q&A and start to mix up this conversation about where are you being invited? Where are you being called to wake up? What do you see?
Right. So just again, for those who have been tuning in along the way over the past few minutes, again, welcome to the tip of the month live hangout for February, where our theme is Wake Up. And you should see on your video, wherever you're watching it via YouTube, Google Hangout, or just on our website, you should see a prompt that lets you know where you can ask questions. So while we're waiting for a few to come in, we also had a few that were pre-submitted, right, for folks who may be watching, or who may tune in later who couldn't make it, but we do provide that option for you to pre-submit a question. So know anyone watching now that that's also available to you. So let's see, I think this is a really juicy question from S. We also just use the first letter of your name. So while we're in a community of practice, we are also, this is a safe space to bring up really, to bring up some of your deepest questions. The question from S is, how can I best stop avoiding staying stuck when I don't have my own specific entrepreneurial vision? What I want is to find and partner with someone whose business I believe in and can help implement and grow. Subject area could be a wide variety of industries, and my own experience is somewhat non-specific, as well as general business, legal, and coaching. And even my geography is open to possibilities. In other words, nothing is fixed, so I also feel a bit vague and unfocused. So how can I pitch this powerfully, put my talents to work?
Yeah. So I want to invite you as to really create your own vision, and I hear this often when I speak with people who are looking to join an entrepreneurial venture, right? So it may not be their venture, right, but it may be someone else's venture that they're participating in. It is still imperative that you have your own vision, right, you all? So whether you're an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, we want to encourage you to think entrepreneurially, which means that you have your own vision, your own mission, your own purpose that you want to be clear about before you step into someone else's enterprise or operation. So I often find that when people are keeping it really broad, there's sort of a fear of being left out or a fear of missing out on something good. Like, wow, if I cast it really, really narrow, and then this other thing comes up, I might miss something, right? So there's always that concern. And what I want to suggest to you is that there is a way that you can be very intentional about the kind of work you want to do, very intentional about the kind of ventures you want to engage, and still keep yourself open to a wide array of opportunities, right? And when I'm, sort of casting my vision, or I'm in my creation mode and what it is that I want to manifest, I'm always saying this or something better, right? So that's my way of leaving the door open to the universe, right? Or something better, right? So that if the universe has in mind for me something even greater than what I could have imagined, I'm still creating the opening for it, right? But that can't be an excuse or a reason not to get clear. And so S, your homework, and we're going to walk through the 7-step protocol in a minute, but your homework is to really, like, no kidding, get clear about what you want. And that's everything from the design of the work to the kind of work that you want to do, where you feel your genius is. And if you've got a question mark about your genius, you absolutely want to take some time and get clear, because you don't want to be engaging in opportunities when you're not clear about what you're bringing to the party, right? So take the time, create the space, be willing to really put a stake in the ground around what you want, what you really, really want to be doing, how you really want to be leveraging your talents, your skills, and your abilities, and what it is that you ultimately want to be working towards as an aim, right? Because I would assert to you that any old company is not going to do. So as broad as you may want to keep it, if I came to you and I said, you know, that I have an opportunity with a company that makes a product that's harmful, right, to children, you're probably going to say to me, there's no way you'd get on board for that, right? So you do know, to some degree, right, what you're interested in. And I want to encourage you to actually stand in your conviction, right? This is the sort of the prelude to next month. You know, already I'm tipping, right? But I want to really say to you, take it seriously. Take your vision seriously. Take your dream job seriously, right? Because it's your time, it's your energy, it's your effort, it's your skills. Okay.
Nice. So we had a question a live question just came through. Do you want to take that before we hop into the 7-step protocol?
For sure.
Okay, great. So this is from T. T says, thank you, Rha. I feel that I'm being called to service, and I find myself getting distracted with old friends and relationships that are not interested in my new vision. I'm trying hard to shake scarcity that I co-created around me. Help.
This is good. The 7-step protocol is going to be wonderful for you, T. Right? And I want to say this again, and I have said this before in the context of our live chats, but who you surround yourself, especially when you're dreaming and scheming, is very, very important. You must surround yourself with people who are going to feed you and encourage you, right? And as a matter of fact, sometimes I err on the side of keeping things to myself maybe a little bit longer than I might want to, right? Because I get excited and I want to go run out and share. But I realize that when my dream or when my vision is in a very vulnerable space, right, meaning I'm just getting started, I'm just giving birth to a new idea, sometimes I feel like I want to carry it a little bit longer in the sacred container before I release it to the world. And if I am sharing, I'm sharing with people I trust. I'm sharing with people who I know will root for me no matter what I'm choosing, right? And I'm not sharing in spaces where I'm having to navigate the projection of other people's resignation. Anybody hear what I'm saying? Holler if you hear me. Or navigate somebody else's negative mindset or limiting beliefs or fear, right, of my success, or fear of what would change or be different if I choose to move in this direction, particularly if it's a direction that's outside of their comfort zone, right? So you have to be intentional about how you're surrounded when you're birthing, right? And I want y'all to imagine a pregnant woman, right? So when a pregnant woman moves down the street, there's sort of a way that we all move to the side, and especially we as women, we surround her. Right? We know she's sacred. We know she's carrying life. She's getting ready to bring life into the world. And there's a way that we protect her. Anybody hear what I'm saying? Right? Instinctively, like we know this, right? And so she also knows as she's moving about, right? But she's pregnant. So she's very careful about where she's going. She's not going to the nightclub, right? To inhale all that alcohol and tobacco. She ain't going. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Come on now, right? It's the same way with you. When you're birthing a new idea, you're pregnant. You're pregnant. So you want to be very mindful about what you surround yourself with and how you surround yourself with and who you surround yourself with when you're in that birthing phase. And your opportunity to hear maybe to wake up around who you're rolling with, right? Nothing wrong with friends, but when we're birthing vision and when we're answering the call, your circle may look very different than who you're hanging out with, right? When you just want to have fun and shoot the stuff and whatever, right? Big difference. Okay. So are we ready for the 7-step protocol?
I think so. Lay it on us, Miss
Okay.
Rha, please.
So in this 7-step protocol, I really am going to walk you through it step by step. You're going to get a downloadable tool. Dana will share with you at the other side of this, sort of how you can access the goodies. But the key thing here is I actually even want you all to close your eyes as I walk you through each of these steps. And I want you to listen for where it's resonating for you, right? Because in some cases, maybe you're already on the process. But in other cases, you may just be getting on the court, right? In other words, your situation may be way extreme and you're dealing with the edge and the pain of it, right? Or for other people, you may not even know where the edge or the wall is. You're trying to find it. And then for other people, it's like, it's not gotten that bad yet, but you know that the writing is on the wall, right? So you're going to listen for where you are in the edge of this conversation as I walk you through the 7 steps, okay? And then you're going to work with them as your homework. Talk more about that in a minute. So the first step is to face the music, right? Face the situation and tell the truth about what is going on. But I also want to invite you to find the humor in it, right? Because when we face the truth, sometimes we use it as an excuse or a reason to beat ourselves up even more. And I want to encourage you not to beat yourself up. So the finding the humor in it is important. Because here's the bottom line. You're still alive. You still got all your faculties. You still got your talents and gifts. You still have the potential to turn it around, right? And so you want to be grounded that when you're facing the music, you're not creating a situation where it feels like life or death, right? But you are facing. You're not turning. You're not ducking. You're not avoiding. You are facing, right? Step number 1. Step number 2. Ask yourself, what is the goal? Get real about what it is that you really want and what it is that you expect. And here I really want you to tap into what is the primary aim, meaning what is the big picture? What's the thing that you're really aiming for that may be bigger than this situation or this circumstance, right? What are you hoping to be empowered to achieve? What are you hoping to be supported in making happen, right? And within the big picture, right, when you get in touch with the big picture, that's where you really want to find your motivation to act. Right? So for example, for me, when I looked at my 3 options, right, that I ran down for you, what gave me the courage to scrap the piece, and dare I say to y'all, that was not easy. I want you to imagine 20 people being very, very mad at you, because that's really what it was. At least 20 people very, very mad at me, right? What gave me the strength and the courage to do it was I kept seeing the original vision of what it was I set out to do, and how important this issue was to me, and how many people I felt obligated to touch through the work. And that was my driving force. That's what gave me the ability to make those hard choices and those hard decisions, right? So again, get in touch with what's going to motivate you to act, right? So that's number 2. Ask yourself, what is the goal? Number 3, survey your options. And remember, you are creative. So as you're looking at what potential avenues you might take, you want to look at what is in most alignment with what you really want. What's going to set you up for success? What's going to allow you to be excited every day? So even as you're choosing courageously, you want to choose from a place of being excited. Like, yeah, I can get up and do that. What's going to make the hard choices worth it for you, right? So when you survey your options, you want to be asking yourself that question, right? Step number 3, survey your options, right? And this is where you're beginning to look at how you're going to take action, right? Step number 4, ask for support where appropriate, right? So to your point, T, right? Surround yourself with people who are going to cheer you on, right? Brainstorm, if you can, with trusted advisors, right? Tap the talent or expertise of others if you need to. Draw on the wisdom of others' wake-up experiences, right? But I want to caution you here in asking for help. You want to make sure that you are not shirking your responsibility. In other words, you're not leaving it up to someone else to make the hard choices for you, right? This is yours to transform. And if you do that, you miss a tremendous opportunity to grow. Y'all hear me? Okay. So ask for support, but only where appropriate. Step number 4. Step number 5, show up consistently. You want to show up in ways that are in alignment with the outcome you most desire. You want to demonstrate that you are ready, willing, and able to change in words, thoughts, and deeds. You want to bring it and keep reminding yourself, like, I'm taking this into my own hands. I have the power. I am able. I am capable. I can do this. Yes? Step number 5, show up consistently. Step number 6. Oh, step number 6. How could I forget step number 6? Keep looking forward. How could I forget that one? I must need that reminder. Keep looking forward. Yeah, you cannot change whatever has happened behind you, y'all. You can only affect what is in front of you. So you want to keep your eyes on the prize, and you want to keep looking forward. You can draw on the wisdom of your lessons, but you can't bring the past with you. You got to let it go and stay focused. When you keep moving forward and keep looking forward, you also have the opportunity to see your progress. Really important. And to be inspired and motivated by all of the steps that you're taking in the day-to-day. And then finally, step number 7 is celebrate. Every positive step you make in the right direction, every victory, be it big, be it small, celebrate. Celebrate. When I turn this show around, every action I took to remedy the situation, I celebrated. I stopped. I acknowledged myself. I affirmed myself. In those 15 plus tough conversations, when I brought in a new director or a new scene person, when I told the truth to the festival producer and asked for him to still bank on me, that I was going to deliver no matter what, right? Every single one of those steps I celebrated, and it is what gave me the inspiration to keep moving forward. And finally, and this is your bonus protocol, forgive if you forget. Right? Simply recommit to the game and keep moving forward. Compassion, compassion, compassion. So your homework is going to be to work with the 7-step protocol in an area where you know you are being called to wake up, or you are being called to shake things up. And we want to hear from you over the course of the month. I know Dana's going to post this in the blog. You're going to have access to a really cool downloadable tip and tool that will enable you to work with the 7 steps over the course of the month. And I want to really invite you to lean in and engage, because I want to know how this one's going for you. This is, like I said, this is one of those ones where, you know, we're on the edge. We're in the edge of the conversation. And I'm encouraging you to do the hard things, right? But they're all in honor and celebration of the growth that you want to achieve and the goals that you want to fulfill on and the success that you want to experience in your life and in your business, right?
All right. Thank you, Miss Rha.
I can't use number 6.
Well, it's true, though, right? It's always the thing.
Right. Moving forward.
Right, but it's the thing that we forget is always like, oh, right, that must be the reminder I need, right? So,
yeah.
yeah.
So, the distraction. Keep looking forward.
Right, absolutely. And I think that's really what this, you know, for all of you who have, you know, who have or have not yet watched the New Year's message, right? Our theme of the year is courage and currency. So, you know, give yourselves a little pat on the back, right, for having the courage to show up, right? To have the courage to show up tonight. And you know, for all who asked questions And for all of you out there who I could just feel taking this in, and again, we will make sure that you have all of the tips and tools. You should already have access to the 7-step protocol worksheet. And we would love to hear from you. So as you notice, we are on Facebook. True+Paid+Good is our handle on Facebook and on Twitter. So please, let us know how you are interacting with these tools. And then we also are about to open our registration for our True+Paid+Good Academy. And this is our year-long deep dive process. And Rha, why don't I hand it back to you to just talk a little bit about what's available to everyone.
Absolutely. So one of the things I want to say in the context of this conversation and why this conversation is so important is because, we as CEOs or heads of our own initiatives or projects, right, or programs have got to learn how to make hard decisions and how to make them with grace, right, which is a part of leadership. And I don't feel like we talk enough about, right, how to do that and how to do that in a way that really supports us to feel empowered and inspired, right, by the growth. And so as we talk through and as I answer questions today, if you're feeling like as you're stepping into the homework assignment and you're hearing the 7-step protocol and you're thinking about your edge, if you're feeling like you need support, I really want to invite you into the opportunity to connect with us and have a conversation about the possibility of the True+Paid+Good Academy. And so the True+Paid+Good Academy is our year-long entrepreneurial coaching and mentoring program. And it's where we teach you the True+Paid+Good formula in a construct or in a structure where you're getting structured, customized, intimate support, as well as having the opportunity to engage in community as you're learning and growing and applying what you're learning on the court in your business. So what do we deliver, right, as a promise in the Academy? So one is, as you come into the Academy, the first thing is that we are going to get you super clear about your vision, what it is you're up to, what it is you want to be creating in the world. 2, we're going to support you in becoming more confident in the articulation and the ownership of that vision. In other words, you're going to get really clear about why you and why this. 3, we're going to support you in developing a clear pathway to how to make money and your passion, right? So we are as committed to your stay true, we are just as committed to your get paid. And so we'll support you in being able to architect that pathway to be able to make money from your passion, right? And then step 4, we'll support you in being able to make the difference you want to make around the issues that matter most and with the people who matter most. So we are all about your true, your paid, and your good. And within the context of this structure of the Academy, you get this, customized engagement with your own executive coach. You get the opportunity to access our guru community, which are the mentors and experts that surround our work, and they are all in their own right incredibly successful. And they come and they bring their brilliance and they roll up their sleeves and they dive deep with you to share their hard-earned lessons and also to share their expertise and their brilliance in specific drill-down areas. You get the power of the cohort and the community and our mastermind structure where you get to work with your peers. In other words, amazing, phenomenal people who are up to the same things that you are up to in the world, and you get to encourage and support and rally and challenge each other as you look at the opportunities and challenges in your business. And then finally, you get the strategic matchmaking and introductions. And that's everything from being in the room with high potential, amazing stakeholders to actually the opportunities that we create for you to stand on platforms and share about your vision, your mission, your purpose, and allow others to be drawn to you as they feel the power of your vision and your passion. So if you want to know more about that, Dana will give you more details about the strategy session. Again, we are opening registration tomorrow. Dana, wow, it's tomorrow. We're opening registration for our winter cycle tomorrow. And so if you've got questions, if you know you're looking for a structure, if you're really committed to staying true, getting paid, and doing good this year, we absolutely invite you to sign up for the free strategy session and explore if the Academy is right for you.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Rha. And just to claim your free strategic session with one of our awesome coaches, you just go to our website, movethecrowd.me/academy, And there you can read a lot of, Rha give you a sort of a nutshell version of it, but you can go in, you can explore, you can also read testimonials from some of our academy and alumni and learn more about like what the structure looks like and how we really show up, how our work can support your vision. So again, that's movethecrowd.me/academy. Great. All right, y'all. So we will be back next month.
We'll be back
and and we're actually going to be next Wednesday, we're going to be on Wednesday, not Thursday. So you can
and Dana will keep you well abreast of that. And I really do want to encourage you, right? I'm hoping you all got value tonight. I really want to encourage you to work with the 7-step protocol, right? To really be on the court, right? This is the year of courage and currency. It's all about taking bold action in honor of your greatest aspirations and your deepest passions, right? To really be out there rocking it out. And I want to leave you, if I can, Dana, for our final word tonight. I would love to leave folks with a quote. Can I do that?
Please, by all means.
A quote from Kevin O'Coon. And he says this: "Today I choose life. Every morning when I wake up, I can choose joy, happiness, negativity, pain, to feel the freedom that comes with being able to continue to make mistakes and choices. Today I choose to feel life, not to deny my humanity, but to embrace it. Wake up." Love you all.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.